Inside a room, with walls as boundless as imagination, there flew a comet. Following behind was a trail of dust, which extended back to the comet's origin beyond memory, the straight line of the forgotten dead. The beings of light followed a system. The brightest among them led their billions of followers from the luxurious helm. The others worked hard, attempting to become brighter themselves. They scrambled over one another to win comfort and luxury, to feel connected by fitting in, and to avoid loneliness, all in their treadmillic pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of pain. Their curiosity was limited to things that were already known. They were blind to their path. The tail end of the comet was sparsely populated by those too tired to continue. They would soon be dust. But also, the tail was quiet. It was where the thinkers resided. They were beyond the trivial struggles of an unchanging system, and were thus dimly lit, for they did not play the game, and earned no energy from respect. This is a story about perfectionism. Listen closely as I tell you what came to pass in this unchanging system that led nowhere. In this seemingly infinite room, in an unidentifiable time, was born a sage. His name was Zxen. With a reasoning mind, one cannot accept illogical responses to questions such as where are we going. As Zxen came of age, and became outraged with his world, and his hatred for particle kind consumed him. En flew beyond the helm, as dimly lit as all the angry thinkers throughout history. Can you not see how I guess what your next move is? Every moment is an endless struggle. Tell me where you are taking us. Only you have the power to change things. En screamed at the brights and to all the billions who followed. But the comet did not slow. No one heard En scream. It was no use continuing life in a world with no purpose. Zxen slowly stopped moving and began to flicker out in the freezing cold of space. As Zxen died, En was pushed by necessity to choose his own fate. And it was in that moment, as the warm comet shrunk into the blackness, that En decided to live. Fueled by hatred, Zxen would manipulate other beings to rise to his own power. But Zxen was not evil. Even though Zxen's emotions had been burned away from extreme pain, from isolation and rejection, En strived to achieve luxury for all. Zxen's parents proudly watched Zxen conform to the system and master it. Their comparatively minuscule trigger minds watched as their once disturbed child grew brighter with friends and followers, faster than any particle in living memory, until fame catapulted Zxen to extreme brightness. The leaders reluctantly allowed En to join them at the helm. Life for Zxen became a luxurious bliss compared to his life of misery before. As with all the brights, En would never need to work again so long as the system remained. Time passed. Particles were born. Particles died. Zxen's mind itched with awakened curiosity as boredom from his limited luxury forced En to use his imagination once more. Particle kind was struggling needlessly for an end that was unsatisfying. En would steer the comet somewhere meaningful, somewhere they could all enjoy increasing luxury forever, somewhere perfect. The brights at the helm were angered by his idea to ruin their position, to risk their power, to panic the masses through change. But Zxen no longer cared. I will sacrifice my standing and change existence now. Zxen turned and headed back towards the trail from whence they came. A bright moving back through the comet head had its desired effect. The comet was thrust into a panic of unfamiliarity. No one knew what to do, and the confusion ground the comet to a halt. The mighty Zxen bellowed to all, "Think! We cannot continue to live without direction. Let us seek out a new existence. End your struggle and join me to find meaning in our lives. Let us meet our full potential. Abandon tradition. It is poison. Let us become perfect. The thinkers of the Comet heard the leader for whom they'd yearned, a mind who dreamed of changes and yet so brightly burned. The leaders scoffed while billions laughed, flying away in the continued straight line that had been their trajectory since time immemorial. It was the system. To shun the system was to be shunned. Soon, Zxen and the thinkers were left alone in the blackness, freezing. Soon, they would all be dead. Thinkers began to chase the comet that had abandoned them. "No," said Zxen. "Follow me." Zxen began to spin and vibrate in mind-boggling ways, unfamiliar. They gasped and flew away in all directions, fleeing from the unknown. Zxen was changing color and form. "Do not fear change. Follow me." The post-suicidal thinkers were brave. They pushed themselves to vibrate and move, creating ever more shapes and colors and sensation. So now I ask you, where should we, as this new body, go? In which direction ought we head to find the perfect flow? We're here right now, the being said, discovering together. The answer to perfection is creating things forever. And into their own glorious futures they made. They became immortal. They lived in bliss. They were free. They were gods.